How's it going? Time to do a bit of a garden update for out the front, just give you a bit of a look at what's going on. Just to begin with, we're in the middle of a winter and I think it's a 27 degrees centigrade day today, so just to give you an idea of what winter's like here, it's a little bit toasty. Yesterday was the same. But anyway, enough about the weather. Start off here with these two asparagus wicking beds. That far one over there is going great guns. The ferns are actually growing that tall that they're starting to lay down. This one over here is doing rather well. All the ferns along the front, all the plants along the front are growing. We've got some broccoli, some sprouting broccoli. Had a cabbage caterpillar find this centre one, but as you can see, they don't last very long, they get squished. The asparagus along the back here isn't doing too crash hot, so I'm actually thinking about sowing some snow peas along the back here, see if we can get a bit of a crop in before it gets too hot. So that bed's doing rather well. I'm sort of happy with it, bit disappointed about the 3 crowns along the back, but you can't win them all, I suppose. Some rubbish that's blowing in under the fence, always charming. Down here we have the other asparagus and it's just booming along. Like I said, the ferns are growing that tall that they're falling over, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I might just have to walk around and just keep pruning them if they keep going down into the grass here. And I have another cage set up ready. Well, it's not ready, I need to level the ground and make sure it's level across the front here. But I've got an IBC cut up out the back ready to go in here. The the hay bale gardens. Bit of a mixed bag really. This brassica one has done really well. The only problem we had here was the heads on the cauliflower were very loose, but that's fine, they went into salads anyway. These kohlrabi have grown rather well. That one needs to come out today. And this one there is nearly ready. And another one over here is doing fairly well too. He could probably come out. So the kohlrabi's done excellent. The broccoli did fine. It produced nice heads. And we ate the heads, not a problem. Bit slow on the side shoots. We've only got, that's the first side shoot I've seen come through, so a bit slow in that department. But other than that, these make a great kohlrabi bed. I was actually crook for a couple of weeks there, and the girls unfortunately neglected to water these front hay bale beds. This one here didn't suffer, surprisingly, for the amount of leaves on the plants, it didn't suffer that much. It did fairly well. The potatoes didn't suffer that much either, mainly because their roots are going down into the ground through weed mat, a layer of weed mat, so I think they held on fairly well. There's a bit of a blight outbreak occurring on there, so I've actually sprayed them with a bit of a fungicide. Had a bandicoot down around under the straw the other day and found some potatoes, so we've at least got a meal's worth of potatoes in there. Be interesting to see what we get in a couple of weeks' time. Over here, the 2 single bales end to end on the honey pod peas didn't do that well. I'm thinking there's not enough bulk there to hold the moisture, so unfortunately the plants are just suffering, and as you can see they're stunted. We've actually left a lot of these pea pods just fully mature on there, and we'll use these guys to save seed from. So I'm pretty much all just going to continually water it until we get a fair amount of pod set, and then that'll be it. I'll mulch this up and use it as mulch on some of the garden beds. I've been out here watering this one every day just to keep these guys alive, and seriously, I'm fairly lazy when it comes to watering. That's why we have wicking beds, so it's not an ideal situation for us to have to come out here daily and spend time watering these guys as far as I'm concerned. So won't be growing in single bale configuration like that again. Over here we've had the blight attack these tigerellas something fierce. We have one fruit down there that I'll be saving seeds from. After that, and a couple of these ones down the bottom there ripen up, they'll be coming out. This bed did suffer from not being watered a fair bit. We've got loads of fruit and nice healthy looking green growth on the Peter peppers, and there's some very, very small fruit setting, but it's a little bit stunted. So I'm thinking that the watering, missing out on water for a couple of days where I really should have had some, has let some of the fruit drop and the plants just don't look too happy. The sorrel over here actually dried up to a crisp when I found it. You can see the leaves, the crispy leaves. So when I actually made it out here to water these guys, yeah, it was looking pretty sad. It's bounced back nicely over the last couple of weeks, and I have had a couple of pickings of the young leaves, but yeah, nowhere near as good as it could have been, I don't think. And the garlic, they suffered something fierce from not being watered. So I'm thinking it could have been the amount of compost and horse manure I added to the top of them. May not have been as much on this bed as there was on that bed over there, so it was able to hold more moisture. And also too, if you look at it now, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, maybe a little bit later. This one here is in total shade, so that's, you know, it's not having water evaporate out of it. And this one here is still in sun, so maybe this one's drying out a little bit more. So all these things to take into consideration, but I definitely think the 4 bale is better than the single, so that's at least a bit of a finding. The pigeon pea is going fantastic. This weekend we're coming out to harvest pods, and hopefully, oh, these are still a little bit green, hopefully we're going to have at least enough. There's a whole heap up the top there that are dried. We're going to have enough dry pea to make up some hummus. So I really want to have a go at making our own hummus out of our own pigeon pea, so that'll be great. The tomatoes down the bottom, I mowed over a branch, but you get that. These guys down there, they're doing fantastic. Just look at the amount of tomatoes just laying there. They are on a vine, they haven't fallen off, so they really need to be picked. The pigeon pea's still flowering, and if you have a look here, the tomato, broad ripple yellow currant, actually comes out to there, and it's pulling down the whole plant. This whole pigeon pea is being pulled down by it. There's a load of tomatoes in there as well, so they'll come out for a salad. More dried peas over here. So yeah, all in all, I'm fairly happy with the way the front garden's going. So there you go, there's a bit of a look at what the front garden's doing at the moment. Next time you have a look out here, there'll be at least another 2 garden beds, hopefully another 4, and maybe some of these hay bale beds may be turned into mulch by then. We'll just wait and see. So I'd really like to pick a couple of chilies off those Peter peppers, and a couple of edible Tigerella tomatoes as well. That would be great, at least something from that little hay bale bed. The potatoes hopefully will be harvested by then too, so you can see what they sort of produced. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Any comments, questions, suggestions, just pop them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Other than that, have a great one and catch you later.